Father Miller here. Welcome back to the Nerd Father. This is our NerdrotiCon Wrap Up. I got back from Vegas officially yesterday, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know I've had a quite an adventure with my car. I went out for pizza, and the pizza. Oh, we got Culture here. I'm getting Culture.
Hello.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me. This is an honor.
Oh no, the honor is mine. Trust me, Father. The honor is mine. I'm just trying
So
to get
I was
everything
just.
set up. So
Oh no, you're fine.
I
I
tore
was
up my
just saying.
studio and this is like crazy for me. So yeah.
Well, I was just saying that I went out for pizza on Saturday after I got into Denver, and my $20 pizza turned out to be about a $325 pizza because I didn't see the curb when I was driving at night,
Oh
and
no.
I flattened a tire and had to get 2 new tires. So I kept kicking myself the whole night, thinking, why didn't I just stay at the hotel and got takeout?
That is awful. That's terrible news. I don't like
that. Now the bright side is the tires were about to be replaced. So,
all right, but still.
So when did you get back?
We drove. I'm just trying to fix everything. We drove yesterday. We dropped off Comics Division at the airport about. I should say I did about 5:40 yesterday morning. And then finished loading the car when I got back to the hotel about 20 minutes later, and then left. So I think I was on the road by 6 a.m. on Sunday. So yeah,
sorry.
No,
I was just going to say we also got Ian, the Mega Geek, coming to us from the UK. He is extremely jealous and would have been there. Would have been there if he could.
I know.
Hopefully, Lady Gravemaster might be joining us too.
Oh wow.
I know she said she is jelly. Those were pretty much the words she told me in a text.
Yeah.
So,
but I say all of you had a good time. Looks like.
Wow. Yeah. Go ahead, Father.
I'm still just in awe of what we experienced this last week.
It's good though. The more people see you guys out there, the more the message will get out there about what they're doing to pop culture and and all that stuff. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing that all you guys were there, and it's a good thing that it was made public as well. So that's cool, I guess.
Well, I enjoyed it a lot, and of course we have all of the different personnel. Whoa, that's too bright. Wow, that's
you're disappearing.
Wow. All right, there we go. All right, it takes forever to set all this stuff back up. This morning, it took me forever to get that show ready to go. But no, you're 100% right, Ian. I mean, and of course, Father is 1,000% right. I was inspired. So on the drive back, I recorded a little video and edited it real quick and threw it up on Twitter. They only give you 2 minutes and
2 minutes on Twitter.
Yeah. So I cut it to 2 minutes 18 seconds. But anyway, but no, I mean, it's just it was such a great pleasure and privilege to meet everybody. I couldn't say it enough, and I'm very grateful to everybody that showed up. I'm grateful to the people that, even though they couldn't show up, showed up in the chats and on Twitter and in all the various platforms that we interact on. And I mean, you walked into a room that was every kind of person, every shade of the rainbow, everybody's. It didn't matter any of that because we don't pay attention to the immutable.
Yeah.
We only care about what's happening in the world and how things are the entertainment that we enjoy is being poisoned. And so it was amazing. But I set all that aside. I got a chance to talk to people that I've only seen in the chat, and it was a great privilege. And I didn't get to spend enough time with Father. But,
I know. I gotta thank you. I got your casino chip. That is really neat.
It's fun. I'm gonna make a different one with a different denomination for every single one of these events. So anytime we have one of these, and I'm gonna be there, count on. This was the Sean Connery $5 one. We're gonna get a Boba Fett one that'll be a $10 one down the way, and so on and so forth. So,
cool. Jake D is here. Jake D, if you want to pop on, I will send you the link. Let me know in the chat.
Yeah, but it was. I haven't had a chance to effuse about this very much, but I was in awe of not the fellow YouTubers I know, we get to know all these people when we stream with them and stuff like that. But I was in awe of the fans, just the enormity of, how many people showed up just to interact, and they were great. And I feel like sometimes people get intimidated to walk up to somebody that they watch and stuff like that. And I'm telling you right now, there's no reason for that. Everybody check their ego at the door. In fact, I think we all check our ego on our channels. We don't, it's not an ego thing. We're not driven by the narcissism of modern Hollywood, whether that be at a talent level or at, a production level or whatever. We're driven by a passion, a belief, a set of beliefs, whatever you want to define it as. And so I never wanted anybody to be intimidated to come up to me. So I tried to, make conversation to anybody that was around, just even if they hadn't talked to me yet. So it was really cool. I got to meet Robert Barnes from Barnes and Fry, Viva Fry.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he was there on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why. I'm sorry, Father. But yeah, and then we had so many great people there. I mean, I never in my wildest imagination thought I'd ever get to meet George Moilo, right?
Right.
And there he was.
Right.
And he is the coolest, smartest guy you're ever going to talk to. It's amazing.
And I'm seeing I just was going to mention, like, I see Master of the TDS is in the chat. Just being able to meet him, Jake D in person, because I've been talking to Jake through the chat for, I don't know, 2 years. Yeah. And just being able to hang out, and especially Man of War, who was, I don't know if he's still listening, but I got to hang out with him and his wife. And I mean, it was just such a blast. And
they were lovely. And the boss talked with Man of War's wife for every night. I mean, whenever they bumped into each other, they had long conversations. And and meeting Master of the TDS, who's very reserved, right? And his wife, that was really cool. And
it was.
I got a chance to meet Nerdporeal Lifeform.
Likewise.
And it's like, and I'm like, again, it's I want everybody to have a channel. If you think you have something to say, if you want to add to this conversation, if you want to help build this army of pop culture warriors, right? That's how you do it. You just step up and join the fray. And it comes to you. It's not simple. It's not easy.
I'm gonna tell you something now, guys.
Yeah.
I have a contact at the BBC, and you guys have been noticed. This actual event has been noticed.
Good.
So so there you go.
we literally counter programmed the sci-fi con. It wasn't a Star Trek con at all.
No.
So many people had pulled out of there because of their fears, and that's okay. If you have reason to be worried, if you have reason to be concerned, by all means, take care of yourself, right? I'm taking the government's word for it that if you follow these steps, if you do these procedures, everything will be fine, right? And that's on me. I mean, I'm not really taking their word for it, but I have to say that here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So, you consult your doctor, find out if it's okay for you to do these types of events. But if you can, do them because they're worth it.
I'm not monetized, so don't have to worry about that.
But I believe that. I mean, listen, the most important person's advice you can get is a doctor. If you don't like his, go get another opinion. Yeah. Right. But it's just, because those are the medical professionals should be respected. They went to school for a long time. They're trying to operate in the public's or your self-interest. Your interest first, the public's benefit second.
Yeah.
But it's just it's those types of things that we have to be very clear on, because I don't want you to get in trouble, monetized or no, right? It doesn't matter to me. It's like you don't need that hassle. But what you do need is to go to one of these events, because I mean, like Ian's saying, if they're noticing us at the BBC and we're counter programming a 10,000 person con. By the way, it used to be 50,000 people con.
Yeah.
Right? Well, there's nobody at the con. I mean, Shatner was there, but
was Shatner there? He was there.
He was scheduled to be.
He didn't turn up, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he was scheduled to be. No, I believe you, Father.
Well, no. I say good for him, because, like Gary said, he's 90. We want him around for a lot longer.
Yeah. Also, somebody said there was some guy, security guard, was bugging everyone about their masks, saying that they should have their masks on at the Star Trek con, and he was being a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, that was Matt Kadish was talking about that. And look, I mean, if that's part of the rules, it's part of the rules, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, then follow the rules, because I'm one of those people. Follow the rules, do what the rules say. I've always been that way. It's
So I gotta share a picture from Man of War and his wife and I and Nick Weiser met up at Caesar's Cigar Lounge. We had to wear a mask. This is what they made us do. I mean, how? How?
It's like your chin has been dislocated. It's keeping up your chin or something.
It seriously was like South Park. It's a chin diaper.
Well, and that's the other problem is if these are the actual rules and they're not being enforced, that was one of the problems that I kept noticing. I was walking around the casinos and I'm going, half the time they don't care. They don't talk to any of these people. And look, I mean, regardless what you believe, I mean, they just ask those questions. But it's strange. I mean, I pulled myself away from people so that nobody would feel uncomfortable, to take my mask off so I could drink or eat or stream on camera, right? And I felt like I was in a very comfortable environment. I was with a lot of people who I really enjoy. And so there's that. But Man of War, there he is.
Yeah.
All right.
It's strange because I was on a shoot recently and they were saying everybody had to wear a mask and stuff. But the thing is, everybody's wearing a mask when you're shooting. And then when it's lunchtime, everybody takes their mask off and sit together. I'm like, how does that make any sense? It makes no sense,
It doesn't, and I mean, that's also part of the rules. So you go to a restaurant, you sit down. I mean, these are the things nobody's questioning, right? You get to a restaurant, you sit down, everybody takes off the thing, and then you're facing like people.
Exactly. Yeah,
and if you know somebody's status, about whether or not they've been inoculated or not. If you feel more comfortable, maybe some people feel more comfortable. And that's fine, except that, look, I mean, they've already told you, different parts of this, and they've changed their minds on it multiple times. And nobody can keep up with it. So, but I want to get away from this because I don't want to talk about this part of it. I want to talk about the fact that Ian wasn't there, and Ian
I wasn't.
Well, I got to bring up the other picture. I posted this on Twitter. So the man, the myth, the legend,
the beard.
Oh,
the beard.
Gary was. I mean, the only thing I know, Gary had so many people, and it was hard to spend time with him. But just to even be able to say hi and Culture, you and I are on his stream, so he knows who we are by our appearances. So it's not like we had to go up and introduce ourselves.
Yeah,
I mean, just to be able to be recognized by him.
Well, and he got great, genuine joy on his face when he met somebody he'd never seen before, but he recognized their name. It was you could watch that, you could see that.
Well, I saw that with Jeremy too. I mean,
and you feel that yourself as a streamer. I mean, it was like, I mean, I have a up and coming channel because there are no small channels. Gary, I have an up and coming channel, and it's still, when people approached me and said, hey, I was honored, I was privileged, and like I said, nobody's ego was there. It was really cool.
Nobody represented the UK there, though, as far as
as kind of was there.
No, well, he wasn't there. I'm saying somebody there
physically he wasn't there.
That's what I'm saying, but somebody physically wasn't representing the UK over there, were they?
But Ian, when was it Gary or Jeremy? One of them held up the phone with as like on the video thing.
All right.
And the whole room exploded chanting.
Yeah, that's what I was. It was just ass.
It was
and it just got louder.
Deafening, and there wasn't enough space for us. No, there were so many people between the two rooms. There wasn't enough space for us. And so it spilled outside. And there were times when there would be, 50, 60 people outside, and there were still people in both of those rooms.
He's going to have to get a bigger room next year, isn't he, if he does it next year?
That bar was amazing. I mean, I was telling Ian, I walked in, they had the menagerie trap on the big screen. I mean, it was just, I want to go back.
And, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I didn't get anywhere near enough sleep. I still feel like I could have slept another 10 or 12 hours today. But it was nice because it was something everybody needed, and I think everybody's going to need it every once in a while. And so the more often we can do this, the bigger these are going to get.
Yeah.
Again, and there's no distance between you and the other party. And it was so cool. I mean, I got to talk with my friends that I stream with all the time. I get to talk with my friends that are in the chat that I hang out with all the time. I was so bummed out there was no Odin. I was like, I wanted to meet Odin.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has responsibilities in the world that prevented him from being.
Yes, he does.
And I was surprised, even though I had heard that you were coming, Father, but I was surprised you were there, and it was a great honor to meet you, and I said as much at the time. And but I felt that way about every person. I mean, I hung out, and everybody, their personality. This is the cool thing. Everybody is genuine, right? I mean, it was like, this is the person I see on screen, and there I'm talking to them, and they're that person. They're that person when they're talking to you.
I will say it was fun. I was just going to mention I got to meet Ginger.
Oh yeah,
and got to meet her husband or fiance, and I mean those two it was just a thrill to be able to meet them and talk with them.
Yeah, it was amazing.
One of the reasons why I'll say this secretly, one of the reasons why BBC was looking at it was because of Gary, because Gary's against the current thing of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
they were. Well, I had a friend that told me that they were interested in what was going on. As I said, I've just been told that. It's a pinch of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt. I don't know if it's true, but yeah.
Would it surprise you?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was true. No, not at all. Not at all. So
me.
There you go. But it's funny how that thing was a huge success and the Star Trek convention wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It's really strange that, don't you think? Because Star Trek's got a huge fan base, isn't it? Not anymore, though. I guess not anymore.
Yeah, they've kind of ruined it. I mean, and I'm saying that word that way for a particular reason because there's somebody in my chat I'm making fun of. But they have ruined it. They've ruined their storytelling. They've ruined their mechanism. If they wanted it to be a platform, you want it to appeal to the most possible people, and they have gone out of their way to push as many of the original fans away. You have a built-in audience for these franchises. Star Wars did the same thing.
Yeah.
And the people that are in charge of Star Wars are the reason that went down this road. And this is okay. So we reached a tipping point in Hollywood, and Ian can probably attest to this as well. Is my mic level okay?
It's fine.
Okay. That the studios have taken back all the power now. You used to have creatives that had some level of authority and autonomy to make the stories they wanted to make. You had auteurism. You had true creative talents that would deliver things. But the studios are now in charge.
Yeah. It's really bad that they've given Klutzman all that money. And he's stuck with it for next 6 years or some nonsense like that.
5 years, I think it is.
Is it 5 years? And he's just going to give us more woke stuff and stupidness.
So Emma Watts is essentially over him, right? And could rein him in, to be honest with you. And that's the thing. I mean,
I think he's got an ironclad contract, doesn't he?
He does. But again, he doesn't have autonomy. It's like, I believe, and this is one of the reasons why, and I agree. These are thoughts that other people have had that I agree with because they're reasoned. That Bob Chapek is an example. Jason Kilar is an example. Jason Kilar is going nowhere. Originally, he was thinking he was out and he wasn't going to have a gig, and David Zaslav actually told him, "No, dude, stick around." Because they're making these tough decisions. They're not doing long-term contracts for showrunners and creators and executives because it doesn't serve their best interest. But at the same time, they're still all governed by these boards of directors that are all believers in this ideology, which is why they're totally fine with the content, even if it's a commercial failure. I mean, look at this. Okay. I was going to do a video on this today, but I ran out of the energy. I'm still tired. So my video that normally would come out on Monday is going to come out on Wednesday. It's going to be about this trip. because I have some different and unique perspectives. But the thing I was going to talk about today was the fact, and I did it in the 6 Minute Daily in in a very brief way. Sorry, I'm redesigning the studio. So and that is the film Cruella.
Yeah.
Was grossly underperformed. So much so that the dismal performance of Mulan beat it.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're making a sequel.
I know.
That's in pre-production. Why would you do this? Why make a sequel to a financial failure, a flop of epic proportions, right? I mean, I heard today that there's several $100 million underwater for the Bond film.
Oh.
I mean, and it's the interest alone from when it was reported almost a year ago is about $1 million a month in just for the financing for that film. And they had to go back and they still have to do some reshoots and things like that because they have promotional products that are part of the campaign, right, Ian? And then those they're old now. Those aren't. They're not a new product. They're not something to advertise. So there's a lot of stuff that is had to be reworked with the film, and it's quite possible that undergoing some heavy edits because there's been a lot of script leaks, and there was not positive reception to those script leaks.
The thing is, they should have released Bond when they were supposed to, and the only film that would conquer the box office, that stands a good chance to conquer the box office because of its reputation, is James Bond. Right. Well, and if I was the Broccoli's, I would have released it as soon as possible because there's no way. You've got millions of fans. They're going to turn up and come and see this film no matter what.
But that first trailer they released, I had no interest after seeing that first trailer.
Well, it's because of the woke stuff, right?
Well, but
the
intersectional stuff. Yeah, and Barbara's a pretty smart business lady. She watched her dad for years. The business partner, I think, is the Wilson family there.
Yes.
And I felt like they knew what they were doing. I don't think that they probably wanted this movie exactly this way because Barbara had talked specifically very differently less than 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but I mean, you brought in the modern fourth wave feminist to punch up your humor and stuff, and
she came in just to polish up the script, okay? And yes, it's true that she was part of some horrible projects and she did that, but you don't know what capacity she was brought in. Everybody's guessing. I mean, I know Dan is definitely a person that he thinks that we're jumping at shadows on Bond, but he said that about Master of the Universe. And he was so wrong about that. So I actually believe what you're saying, because Culture, because I think there's something in Bond, and I think now if they've got the chance, they should take it out, re-edit it, so that it doesn't pee off the clients or the viewers.
Right. I mean, and that's the weirdest thing. So, but see, that's a consensus opinion because we talked about Bond. I mean, amongst ourselves. I mean, we talked about all these franchises. When you have these face-to-face conversations and you're not editing yourself because of the great and powerful Mama Susan,
exactly. Yeah.
Right. You're having these conversations in person. And this is their worst nightmare. In-person things, conversations, interpersonal actions and conversations between people.
Yeah.
The worst nightmare, because you have hundreds of people at this event that Father and I were at, and they are all on the same page. I mean, that's an army of voices that are like, you're killing this.
I mean, the thing that I loved, and I told somebody, I'm here as a nerd. I'm not here as a priest.
Right.
I'm here to nerd out. And we met up the TDS Brightest Day, if he's still in the chat. There were a few of us that met up at the Fremont experience. And I mean, it was just hitting it off, just talking Doctor Who, Star Trek, and I mean, it's not. I mean, you didn't really have to go into much introductions.
Oh no, you get to know these people super fast, and I mean Zach, brightest day, he's awesome, and he was dressed to the nines. His Battlestar
Yes.
black
Yes.
uniform
Yes.
is bam. I mean, he's giving visual reference buttons for his uniform next. I mean, they are essentially the same. Everything about them will be essentially a replica of what was on the show. I mean, these are fans. These are people that love this stuff. I mean, he showed up as Green Lantern.
I
right?
saw that.
I mean, I mean, what else do you want? There were people in Star Trek gear, at the bar, and people came, as themselves. The bar owner was a cool dude. I mean, just seriously, everything about it was.
I think he made a lot of money from this.
Oh,
he probably
boy.
did. Yeah, of course he did.
That bar was jammed with humans. I wasn't drinking because I'm driving. I don't drink and drive, right? So I had a completely sober event, both nights, and it was. I'm so glad I didn't have anything to drink because I wanted a clear picture in my mind of those nights. I don't want that tainted by anything.
We got Brightest Day is here with us.
There he is.
Your ears were burning.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Are you putting your studio back together?
Oh, I am just trying to remain conscious until it's time to actually go to bed. I'm so jet lagged right now.
So when did you get back?
Let's see. It's now 7:00, so I got back around 5. I got less, maybe less. I've been on planes all day.
Oh, that's right. I think you told me it was going to be a long, long trip.
Yeah. So okay.
So what part of the world are you guys? Obviously, you're all American, but what parts of America are you guys from then?
I'm in the desert Southwest. I will say this much, right? Yes, I'm in the desert Southwest. All of my shows are planned around Pacific Standard Time.
Right.
So.
What about you, Bryce Day? Where are you?
I am in the Northeast. I live in Connecticut. So
there's a big, huge time difference between you guys, right?
Yeah.
So
3 hours.
Wow.
Being in Nebraska, it was a 2-hour difference. Now, the thing that drove me nuts is I tried sleeping in last week and I couldn't do it. And what happened this morning? I forgot to set my alarm and I overslept. I woke up right at the time for mass.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I had the parishioner call because it's like, crap. Why couldn't this have been last week? I didn't set the alarm. I wanted to sleep, and my body, the time difference drove me nuts.
Well, if I went, it would have been 5 hours difference or some nonsense like that for me.
No.
Be 7 because
7.
it's a 5-hour difference
7.
for you and me.
Yes, 7, yeah.
Yeah. Nevada right now is on Pacific time. They're one of those states, they change their time. We have some states that change their time, some states that don't, some that recently stopped doing that because it's dumb.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to go next year, though.
Oh,
it
may not be that long. There are rumors that it could happen more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a year?
Yeah, and relatively closer.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, far away from me, anyway. I mean, I'll have to.
Okay, he is going to. He's coming over to the UK.
Oh, is it? But he's going to be in Wales, though. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm in London. Why is he going to Wales? I don't know.
Hey, I flew to Vegas for this thing.
Well, Wales. I've only been to Wales once. Very cold. Very dull.
Welcome to New England.
Yeah. But I suppose if I know where he is, I'll probably go and meet him and stuff. In fact, I think I might actually make the effort to go and see him. If he tells me where he is, I'll make the effort because it's not going to cost that much to go to Wales for me anyway. So
I definitely think we need to see like a European or at least a UK YouTuber meetup equivalent.
Yeah, and Hey, look, I mean, I'm happy to travel to London. I'll be there in, what is it, 10 hours or whatever?
Oh, no.
We got enough miles to go.
If you come to London, mate, I'll look after you. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, I got
Definitely
family
look
there.
after you.
I got family there. I mean, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to go. Or I should say, I have distant family in the UK, so I would be happy.
Oh, okay.
But it's one, and I would definitely take you up on your offer. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't come alone. I mean, and a lot of people got to meet the boss, so the boss does exist. And she was over the moon too.
Yeah.
We are. I look. I mean, my thoughts on this are very simple. If you can do one of these meetups, do it. You will leave there with a spiritual, uplifting sense, equivalent to a really great day at church, or whatever your belief systems fall within.
The funny thing is, I went to, and I think I told Bryce Day, or I know I told a few people, I went to Cosmic Comics, and it felt like wherever I was going, I was preaching the gospel of Friday Night Tights.
Yeah.
Yeah, accurate.
Because the guy at the comic book store, I mentioned the convention, and it was revolving around Star Trek, so he wanted to know what I thought of it. I told him I hate what they've done to it. He said I was the first person he's heard. I hear my headset thing. My power went off.
Oh dear. He's got a.
Be right back.
He's got a.
No worries.
No, but I'd love to go. I like to go. I might, if I know where he is, I probably might make the trip up there. But just to see him, because there was no Brits represented over there, was there? No Brits at all. There was a Canadian though. There was a couple of Canadians down there, weren't there? So
yes, yeah. But I agree with what you say, Culture. This was a spiritual experience. I told Gary on Instagram, because he posted the picture that the bar's photographer took of me, and he said, "Hey, I put it in my story," and I was like, Gary, I thanked you 5 times over the course of 2 meetups. I'm still thanking you. This spirit, this trip, and I'm gonna sound corny here for a second. It made my soul smile.
Yeah. That's great.
That's how I describe that.
That's great. That really is great. I mean, it sounds wonderful. It sounds, as I said, when people are so passionate about something, when people are fighting for something that they believe is right, and they meet people of the same ilk, you do feel connected. So you guys probably had a whale of a time. Because I thought you froze there, mate.
No.
I was like, he's frozen.
My day is governed by multiple phones, so lots of times I'm like, But no, actually I took a picture of all of us just a moment ago, because and Thomas is in the chat. So, and I have to tell you, meeting Thomas Gilkey was awesome. He is he's cool. He's fun. We had an incredible dinner. I think it was the first night we went to the Burger Brasserie, which is a restaurant that's in between the Bally's and the Paris. And we sat and had an incredible time, hung out with just Spirian, and and that was amazing. I mean,
was AFK there?
No, it was that's a tragedy. AFK
I'd love to meet AFK.
AFK should have been there.
Yeah.
In fact, I was telling Thomas that when we were there the first night. Thomas, man, Thomas is awesome. I can't even tell you how fun it was to hang out with him.
I had the pleasure of sharing breakfast with him, Jack of all casuals, Ruben Haynes, who, and I mentioned this before, is him and Father Miller are the 2 most godly men I met on the entire experience. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Yeah. And then the Nerdporeal Lifeform was with us, who was not what I expected at all.
No, he's great. He was fun. Like I said, I didn't have a negative exchange with one person, even if they didn't agree with me on something, which, by the way, we disagree, guys. It happens. Okay.
Yeah, it's fandom.
Guess what? We part as friends. We have a meal together. We have a beer together. Whatever it is, we are what the world was up until a couple years ago.
That is very true.
And so it's Oh, good.
So hopefully you didn't swear a lot while I was gone.
I didn't swear at all.
Every second we swore.
Great.
I would say you're demonetized now, but
Wish I was.
Demonetized anyway.
No, but see, that was the thing is when I was having breakfast with Thomas, he went on and on and on about how much he disagrees with all of the members of Geeks and Members that he disagrees with, but he still supports them as a whole. And we just had this gigantic revelation of, all the things that we preach, that, we can talk about what we love, we can disagree on things, and we can still be human beings together. And it was just felt natural.
Well, on Dan's channel, it's primarily a Doctor Who channel. I disagree with people around me all the time, but the most important thing is that we're true fandom. True fandom is disagreeing, but still, being friends with the people who disagree with, and then vice versa. It's not the other way around. It's not trying to cancel someone. Those fans are on a different. They're just in a different world, and they belong there. They belong there. They don't belong here. Kind of thing.
We don't reach for weaponization.
No, we don't. So, but the thing is though, as I said, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for stuff like Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Aliens, right across the board, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future, all that stuff that I've seen, more so than anyone I know in my family, has made me. Right, I'm totally grateful for that. The rest of my family are football fanatics. They're all Arsenal and freaking Leeds. And all that. No, I hate football. I hate sports. I'm just all about the.
So I'll use your term. I was the chaplain of our football team.
Oh God! Wow.
I played football when I was in school.
I hated
soccer.
Stop. Hated it.
Love it.
Yeah,
hated
sports.
Yeah.
I love sports. Oh, there you are.
God, I mean, I don't have anything against people that like sports at all, because I said all my family are Arsenal fans. That's it.
Ian, I haven't watched sports in 2 years.
Haven't you? Oh, because of what's happening. Oh, okay. That's a shame.
I used to watch F1, and then I didn't have anybody else that wanted to watch it with me, so I kind of got out of it. And the same thing with MMA. I was a big MMA fan. It's like when you're the only one in your local circle that watches something, it kind of is like. And I hadn't discovered this YouTube community yet, so I was. You know how I discovered this, right? So I'll tell you, I was watching Doctor Who once, right? And I think it was the Peter Capaldi era, and it was getting very, very woke. And I was like, am I the only one that thinks this is rubbish? And then I started looking on the internet to see if there was any bad reviews of Doctor Who, and there was none. Absolutely not. I was totally puzzled. And then by accident, I came across Bolstreck's channel. He was talking about, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's saying exactly what I'm thinking. And then from there, I discovered Gary. And then it went on from there.
And that's when and that's what, and it happened the same for me because of Star Wars and some other things that I found all these amazing creators. And of course, I was watching under my actual name. And I had another alternate account that I would watch different channels with. But when I ran into all these people, that's when and I got inspired, I've despite what some people say and despite the persona that people put on the internet. And again, you are a genuine person. I said that at the beginning of the stream. You're very genuine, but at the same time, you have a little bit of a YouTube persona, right? I mean, mine is the hair thing, right? But
you're joking.
No, I gotta say, I got a hug from Ryan.
Hey,
but he was also drinking.
He does drink. He did drink. I got a hug from Ryan. I got a hug from Jeremy. I got a hug.
Well, but the funny thing is, because I always give Ryan and Jeremy a hard time being from the religious aspect,
right?
So, I mean, my thought was I was going to bring holy water and pour it over Ryan.
That's right. You didn't do that.
It would have been amazing.
I see that.
I was really worried about Father. I was thinking to myself, what?
I would have just accepted a glass of water and
just do them all.
No, I saw when I went up to Ryan in the parking lot, it's like, don't worry, I didn't bring the water.
But
just wipe the condensation off your glass and be like, here you go, it's holy enough.
But see, at the same time, I mean, again, you're grounded enough that you were able to preach the gospel of kindness, of that and the fandom.
Well, the funny thing is, the Uber driver from the fandom bar that I took should have been there, because I mean, we were talking the whole ride back to the hotel about Star Trek, Star Wars comic books and stuff.
Oh man, you want to talk serendipitous experiences? So on Salty Nerd Podcast, they had David, who runs the USS Windrunner Star Trek like cosplay group or whatever, and he stopped into the fandom bar, and I'm in there in this. He's in there in his Star Trek command uniform. He's got a Black Lantern ring on. I'm in this. I got my Green Lantern ring
and
in
the
my
Green
pocket.
Lantern. Yes, I remember that.
And I put it on, and
goodness.
it's like instant friends. We went psychotic, hugging each other and celebrating. We didn't even know each other before that. It was like instant. It was great.
That's great.
I can't wait for next year. I mean, Ian and I were talking. We're just wondering if this is going to be the start of something really big.
I think it is, and I think next year is going to be harder because there's going to be more people, and you know, Gary's going to have to hire a bigger place.
We're going to get it, yeah, exactly. And that's I think we talked about that the first night. We're like, this is too small. It's not big enough. It's gonna get big.
Yeah,
this is like the first time I went to a Magic the Gathering tournament, and I'm like, there were too many people in trying to stuff into this building. This is way back in the day, like right after Wizards of the Coast launched the game. And one of my friends was like part of the test players, right? And so it was like, okay, this is not a big enough space for these people. We needed like 10 or 15 more tables. That, unfortunately, I think will be the progression of this event. You're going to have people that get locked out of it because you're going to have to limit occupancy. I don't ever want that to happen. You know,
right.
I'll kick in the extra $1,000 if you need it for the bigger room. I'm like, come on.
I wish I could.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Next year it's going to be, because of the success of this year, next year it's going to be even bigger. People that weren't allowed to come out because of the whatever, they're going to go there, aren't they? So
all of you from the UK that wanted to come.
Yeah, I wanted to come. I couldn't come.
Especially as individual channels grow their audience and attract more people, and then that's going to be an exponential growth. I would say not to bring this down, but the only thing that led me to want more of in this trip was more time. I wanted more time with everyone. I wanted, you and I Culture had a couple of brief instances where we talked, but it
wasn't long enough.
But I mean, the thing is, I really wanted time with Gary, and again, I understand. I mean, it just didn't happen. And again, I'm not criticizing. I totally understand because there's a few hundred people that want time with Gary too.
It's going to be difficult. It's second time round, especially if I want to meet him. We'll just have to be a brief hello and that's it, because he'll be wanted by hundreds of people that are there.
I don't know. I mean, Guy flew in from Japan, and I think you fly in from overseas, he's going to make time for you.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, and I think next time around, I'm sorry about that, Father. I don't usually do that. I don't, I'm very good at that. But I think we'll get like even other big channels. You'll see Entertainment Hacker. You'll see that Star Wars girl. You'll see, people that are that kind of span both the fandom and the comics side of things, right? You'll see people like that Umbrella Guy, Yellow Flash. You'll see.
Mahler.
Rakita. You'll see, Rakita Law there. You'll see.
We'll see them as they look, not just their avatar.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm prepared people to be disappointed when you meet me. So,
Well, I mean, it was like
I was just disappointed you didn't bring the dog.
No, I what you call it? I'm surprised because at the first shot I saw on Gary's thing, he goes, "He's really got hair. It's really his hair." I think he said that about you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, well, it's funny because I can't even tell you how many people came up and touched my hair and were, whatever, and they're like, "Wow, it's really soft" or whatever. It was, yeah, it is. But here, and that's the thing, and when I cut my hair. It will be a tragedy, but it's going to have to happen. But guess what? I'll grow it out again. So, I always tell everybody, I'm like, it's more of a pleasure for me to meet you than you would ever know. I mean, you may be enjoying this, but I probably am enjoying it more because I love that. This is going to come as no surprise to anybody. I'm an introvert. So
really,
yeah. So I am.
Raise your hand if you're an introvert.
Most people on YouTube are actually.
Not me.
Well, Ian, you're Hollywood.
2.5. We're good.
I'm not Hollywood. No, I'm Cricklewood, but not Hollywood.
All right. But it's just, but that's the thing. It's like I was surrounded by my people, a bunch of introverts that were excited to be together to talk about the things that they love, and that's how you overcome that. And I feel like everybody needed that moment, and everybody's going to continue to need those moments because we don't have the opportunity to have confirmation bias because it's incredibly limited, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, I don't think I want it. I like having a disagreement about what the best Superman film was. I want to talk about who the best Batman was.
Yes.
I want to fight it out about the Joker, right? I want to yell at people about magic and what's happening with magic right now. So that was for you, by the way, Brandon. But oh, there you go, Batman '89.
Yep.
Beautiful. Holy cow, that's gorgeous. Do you remember when they used to give away programs at film?
Yes, I've got loads in my cupboard. I got Star Trek 3 one. I've got the Eyes Only one. It was called a souvenir. In England, used to go to the cinema and they used to have them everywhere, and people just used to pick them up and stuff. And sometimes used to have postcards as well, and they just got rid of all that stuff, and it's just all gone. And
what was funny is the last film I can remember that had a really big campaign like that was Batman '89, one of those iconic films. And
I remember walking down the road. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, please.
I remember walking down the road and going past a bus stop, and all it had was this bat sign on it. Nothing, no writing, just a bat sign with the black on the black. And that was enough for me for my brain to explode. I didn't know it was coming because in those days, the internet wasn't really that big. And so you just learned from newspapers or TV. And I was like, my head just exploded. And I'm like, I've got to see this film.
Yeah. 88, 89, you had you had CompuServe, AOL, and a couple others that were just starting to come out. I was in the internet way early. I mean, I had a 400, an 800, a 1200 baud modem. I had a 16.6, 18.8. Yeah,
I just had Commodore 64. That's all I had.
a 56K. So as the generations of the internet changed for telephone, connectivity, I tried to buy the best modem I could because I wanted that stuff faster. So I participated in the bulletin boards and all that other stuff. And that kept me in touch with all these things I was a fan of, whether it was comics or films or television. Back then, I mean, television was good. Films were amazing. How many flops can you think of right now? That back then versus I can name
versus today. Yeah.
I can name 6 that have happened in the last year.
Yeah.
So
but we know why they flops, though, don't we? We know why they flops.
But the industry doesn't care for all the reasons they do. But let's get back. I feel like I diverted the conversation. I want to do this more. I know you guys.
Meeting people in real life is so much, especially if you've just spoken to them on the phone or you've seen them on a live stream and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if you watch Dan's channel, but I met Barnaby for the first time a couple of weeks ago. There's a guy named Barnaby on the channel, and he does live streaming as well. And I met him, and it's really different when you meet them face to face, isn't it? You're like, oh, so you've got legs then, have you? Oh, there you go.
Speaking of legs, I was surprised how short comics was.
Oh, easy now. That's the running joke. That poor guy.
No, it was funny because I'm in a group chat with Lady Gravemaster, Odin, and a few others. I just was sending them pictures of it, and I'm taller than comics, so I guess John was surprised by the difference.
How tall is he? 5 foot?
He's a little bit small. So I'm 5'10". I think he's probably 5'8".
Yeah, he's he and I are similar in height. Let's just put it that way. And I'm used to be 5'9", and then I got older.
Shrink.
I was gonna say I'm 5'9", 5'10". I think someone's lying.
No, I was. I was 5'9" briefly, then I was 5'8", then I was briefly 5'9", then it was back to 5'8", and then I went down a little from there. But I tell you what, my skinny little butt could still dunk a basketball. Now, the fat version of me can't get 4 inches off the ground. So,
hey, I was surprised I was able to put the amount of miles on my feet I did this weekend and not die.
Oh my gosh, that was the other thing, hoofing it, right? I mean, I obviously I had the car. I mean, we drove a lot of people to and from the airport, to and from restaurants and all that. But at the same time, you still walk a ton. I mean, casino to casino, casino to casino. And mostly, this is the other thing. I didn't gamble nearly as much as I normally do in Vegas, right? I only had one good, like, long period at the craps table, which I won, of course. But I didn't get to do, because normally it's like 2 5-hour sessions a day for me at the craps table, and I only got 1 5-hour session the whole time, which is amazing. Do you realize how long we were there? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days.
Yeah. Well, I got in on Tuesday.
Oh,
but I also left. I also left Saturday. So
you had to, the God stuff. You had to go do the God.
No. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I had a replacement priest for the coverage this weekend. It was basically, if I stayed another night, it was going to add 150 to the bill.
Wow.
Oh man, I had a room for you. I wish I'd have known. I'm like, I never want somebody's barrier to be, I can't, afford X for a room. So,
I'm guessing that you guys, where you live, you all got cars, and like, for instance, with Father, if he to drive to, I guess, the supermarket, you have to drive there. Yes.
Yeah.
Am I guessing?
Oh yeah, 20 minutes.
But for me, living in London, right? To have a car is completely useless, because there's so much traffic in the road. So almost everybody I know walks. We walk, so, and if we want to go somewhere, there's always the tube and the train station. Do you know what I mean? So people mostly use the London transport and stuff. So, but we walk all the time. So I'm not surprised when my American cousins come over and we say, "Oh, let's go to a restaurant," and we walk. They're huffing and puffing. Oh, what's wrong with you people?
Well,
you just keep driving all the time. Walk.
Well, I walk a lot. I mean, in my travels, it's required. But I used to go to the gym twice a day. I mean, before all this mess started around the globe, I would play racquetball. I get up at 4 a.m, play racquetball from 5 to 7, 7:38, somewhere in there, and then I would turn around. I'd go back to the gym at night after work, and
that would kill me.
Yeah, and since we all stopped regular activities, I gained like 4 people's worth of weight.
Shout out to Jack of all casuals in the
chat. Jack was great to meet. My gosh, look, I got to meet Eric K, the nicest human being on the planet. I mean, I kept saying, somebody's going to disappoint me. No, not one person. Everybody I met was amazing. And I got to hang out with people that I've hung out with before. I mean, because Drunk Jay is just amazing person. I know that he gets a lot of positive publicity, but he deserves it, because he's super nice, even though he gives me a hard time. He's like palling around with the guys I used to hang out with, right? Until everybody moved away.
So that's the other thing too, is that so we know that certain people have on-screen personas in the YouTube sphere. Everyone there was genuine. Everyone was being themselves, and we break into some of the habits we have on camera, but for the most part, you learn that the people you were talking to are the people you're talking to. How did I put it? We went in this age of everything becoming digitized. We went out and made each other tangible to ourselves. Like, we became tangible.
Yeah, I mean, that again, it's just weird being able to actually physically be in the same room with people that I've been talking to for ages now. And I want more.
Well, you ain't going to get any more until next year.
I don't know. I'm hoping out for Orlando. That would be fun.
So if we end up in Orlando, I think we'll have a great time. You have a lot of tour guides in Florida, and you have a lot of people moving there.
I have relatives there.
I intend to retire to that locale.
Wow.
So
there are only going to be
there are only going to be 2 states left that'll be not having at least some crazy humans around. So we'll see.
But so what was Gary like then when you finally met him? What was he like? Because you spoke about everybody else, but you really haven't spoken about the main man.
Just like he is on screen.
Gary's
just like
Gary.
he is on screen.
Gary's Gary, man. Gary is Gary, and I loved every minute with him. And I felt like this is the weirdest thing. I felt like I was hanging out with one of my best friends. I didn't get to spend all the time with him that I could have. Yeah, I mean, I got a couple opportunities that maybe some others didn't to hang out with him, but I mean, this is a guy that I would say, hey, come over, let's do a barbecue, play some cards, and whatever. That's him. I mean, he's the person that he is on screen. He's that person all the time. And his, by the way, if you're watching, Melissa, you're the best. I know I told you that on Saturday night, but you really made this come together because I know how much work the boss puts into me so that I can do my best here. And I know what it takes because Gary brings it up to another level, and that's all because of you.
And again, I got to thank her for the coffee mug.
Oh,
because I was able to get one.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Gary
swag.
walked up and handed it to me. I'm like,
I want a badge. I want a Gary badge. I want the glasses badge thing. I want that.
The swag, the swag that people handed out and everything, and I was like, what are
the
you
Ryan
doing?
Kendall glamour shot?
Ian, send me an address. I'll tell you the one I picked up.
That's really cool. That's really cool because I always want. I mean, there's a certain character that I'm actually going to be doing, and I want that badge on that character.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I think Father knows who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because he's got 2 badges on him already, so I just need that Gary badge right there. That's what I need. So
I debated very, very, very heavily on whether or not to get a Nerdrotic symbol tattoo. I decided against it, but
Well, I think X-Ray Girl got the Geeks and Gamers.
It's Krista.
Oh, Krista got that?
Yeah. It's in
so
pink, I believe.
Did you learn people's real names like X-Ray Girl? Do you know her real name? No. You just called X-Ray
there was
Girl.
a lot of names mentioned, but it was hard to remember because you're meeting everybody by their real name for the first time.
Yeah. But I'm going to be there next year. Hopefully, I'll be there. I
just have a feeling it's going to be crazier.
It is going to be, and there's no doubt about it. It's going to be more people this time round, and I might not be able to get to meet everyone that I know on live stream, and it'll just be. They'll need to They need to get a bigger boat. In other words, that's what they need to do.
Oh, don't worry. I'll say mass next year.
And you'll have to because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to stick around for a lot of days. So.
Yeah.
So I got one of the little.
Oh, you did. I didn't get that.
And I got from Quarter Black directly, Quarter Black Garrett. I got the very first sticker.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Got that too.
Yeah. So he opened the pack and handed it to me, and I was like, "That's so cool!" And of course, here's the poster everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that meant to be as the gold fella at the bottom?
Yes.
I keep wondering. Oh, it is as then. It is as. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's do this better.
Let me see if I can bring that up on the big screen. Hold on. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. I was right. I was right there.
I was right there.
See, okay. I got the white poster with the Vegas thing signed just because it would be easier to read.
It's much easier to read the signatures. That's true. Oh, and people asked me to sign my stinking signature, my autograph. I was like,
do you know what? We're the B team, I reckon, and we need a poster done with us on it.
B. I'm like D or E over there.
I would no.
Well, if you're that, then I'm lower.
Everyone that I speak to knows culture. Everyone on the live, even people you don't know, they know who you are. So you know what? Look, you know what, right? You've got to look at it in perspective. You've got X amount of subscribers and you've got X amount of likes, right? And you've got X amount of people looking at you. Sometimes they don't correspond with each other at all. True. That's what I'm saying. So, but let it be known that people are watching you that don't like your, don't press the like button. There are thousands of people watching you, and everyone I've spoken to knows who you are. They know who you are. So
I got to say, I was amazed how many people came up to me that knew my channel. But of course, also because I'm in the chat and I'm on the member streams, they got to know me that way too.
Yep. Yeah, and I got to connect deeply with people that I had only seen otherwise, either in the chat or in one of the member streams or places like that. I mean, I get to interact with Brightest Day once or twice a week regularly. Ian and I used to do a lot more together, but he's too far away. You know, and you are, and I tell Dan I'll happily come back when I'm available.
Dan wants you back on. He wants you back on. He said to me, we got to get culture, and I said, well, there's a time difference there, you know. I mean, I'll ask him next time around. It's a time difference. Yeah.
And actually,
speaking of time difference, sorry, I was just going to say again, I'm grateful that Ian is here with the time difference.
Yeah,
it's all right. I like talking to my friends. I like talking to Father, you know, as I keep saying to everyone that I know. Obviously, this is a bit of a Catholic thing. I keep saying, look, I know this priest and he's a geek and he's into Star Wars, and they don't believe me. They just don't believe me.
There you go.
The nerd Father. Yeah. I keep saying that. Right?
I'm subscribed to both of his channels. So, you know, the one that's like, hasn't had a video in like 4 or 5 months. And
then... so outside of the normal the Geeks and Gamers swag and the Gary swag, I picked up something very special, and I want to make a promotional video for it, but I picked up Kai MFS's book, Space Prime Domino.
Oh, wow.
And he signed and sold so many copies of this book in the second meetup. I want to ask him, but I don't want to ask him because it's his business. But he's, I got to connect deeply. He signed and personalized it. Kai was a great guy to meet. So I'm going to do a reading stream of this book after I finish the book. Either after I finish the book I'm reading now, or in addition to. I'm going to try and change up my content a little bit, but I'm going to be reading that book.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And I'm actually headed down to San Antonio. Sorry guys, I keep getting up to get like water and stuff. I'm headed down to San Antonio to hang out with a bunch of people. So, you know, hopefully I can make Quarter Black come down and hang out too. And then I would plan on 3 meetups a year in the future, maybe 4. I think I think they're gonna be done regionally. I think that's probably the wise move, you know, like 3 and then maybe 1. So
I think Dan's talking about us meeting up, you know, with the other people that we have on our live stream as well, meeting up personally and doing. It'll have to be a recording, because to do something live in a studio environment, 1, it costs money to get studio, you know, all that stuff, and 2, basically, you know, you need other people there, like people on camera. So what we're going to do is we're just going to record it and just send it out there. But he's talking about meeting up, physically meeting up. So,
well, I'm actually investing in more mics and booms and stuff. I have a couple of mics. I have this one. I have another XLR mic. I have a Yeti. The Yeti doesn't work with the XLR gear, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
But because I have this new soundboard that I took with me to Vegas that I only used one time, I'm trying to make it so I can have an in-studio location wherever I travel, so that somebody can like have their own mic and be in the same area. So the studio isn't going to matter.
Yeah.
You know, we need a room, you know.
Yeah.
But that's one of the cool things is we should have, I'm not going to say it that way. In the future, we can have tables of live streams, because I mean that's what Salty
that would be good.
Matt Kadish and the guys, you know, they were at the convention all 4 days, right? They were there. They had a table. They did live streams from there. They got criticized for, you know, people, you know, taking their masks off to get drinks of water and stuff. But they had a really cool thing. And I'm thinking, you know, I'd set up a table. I would do interviews. I'd talk to people. To me, that's kind of cool. Engage with your audience.
But you know, culture. Do you know? Have you ever been to Cannes before?
No, I've not been to the film festival.
Okay, right. So Cannes, right? They basically do it from their hotel room. So, you know, you don't really need to go out to, you know, like a restaurant. You can do it from your hotel room and just tell everybody that's where you're doing it, and the door's open, so people can come and visit. Because in Cannes, they do that all the time with all the different companies, and even stars as well. They do it from their hotel room, interviews and stuff like that. So that's probably going to be cheaper for you. Do you know what I mean? Just do it from your hotel room.
Yeah, I did the gaming lounge. We had 4 of us in there doing the show.
Right. Cool.
You know, and that was in the room. I'm gonna have to get a bigger room next time. I have to get a suite or something. It's just that's the kind of thing that I want to do. I want to be able to set up a studio, have people, come by, have a chat, and all of that. The live streaming was tricky because the hotel internet is a challenge.
Yeah.
But for, I came across just fine on the 6 Minute Daily. Only had a couple of stutters every day, and that seemed to work okay.
But you know what? If I was there, I probably would have brought my camera, and I probably would have said to Gary, "Look, I'll just follow you around, and you can just have the footage afterwards." Because that's what he really needed. Because people were just operating from their phones. It's really difficult. Your eyes go all over the place, don't you? Because it's such and he's more wandering around stuff. So maybe next time we'll have someone devoted to actually, be on camera and shoot what he's doing and stuff.
Well, I brought my gimbal, one of the gimbals. Actually, I brought a couple of them, but I brought my gimbals, and I use that all the time so that I don't have that wobble and shake and all that stuff because it balances the camera.
Yeah.
And because I use that for filming theme park stuff and doing the other things that I do, all the time. So it was like, it was handy to have, and I was able to set that up on a tripod on the table and do that. In fact, at the thing, which is part of the footage that I'm going to show on Wednesday in my video, I set the gimbal up on the thing, and I put the camera into 4K mode, and I put it up overhead and just film the room. Yeah. Everybody talking. It's going to be complete cacophony audio wise, but it is absolutely, it's cool. I looked over the footage. I'm like, this is awesome. It's 25 minutes of people just
one of the videos that I really enjoyed you doing, and I know it's way what you normally do, is when you went out to the forest. Do you remember that one?
Oh,
you were there. Obviously, you remember it.
I do. Actually, yeah. So when we go up north, that's going to become a regular event. So when I go up north to the cabin to spend time up there, I've got work to do up there. I got some baseboards to install and some stuff that I want to get done up there. So, but no, I mean, and that I grew up in that forest. I mean, there were multiple weekends of my life. My grandfather built that location, and then it remodeled it extensively. So it's too big.
Yeah, looks great.
It was, but that's a legacy thing. That's a family thing now. It's like a country home, right? And so so my brother, I use it, people, all our entire family uses it. And, I'm up there all the time tinkering with it or putting in the floor or baseboard or whatever. But every time we go up there, especially with Bear Dog, who's taking a nap down here, I'll do that because it was a great joy and a lot of people liked it. So thank you.
I did. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And it's really great when you see another part of the world. It's really good when, like, I'd love to see what's outside of Father's place because all I see is that all the time when I see it. But here we go. What's out there? Oh, look, see, small town.
Oh,
that's amazing. That you just see stuff like this on TV when you live in London. You never see stuff like that in real life.
Like grass?
I'm happy to do it. And again, I mean, I obviously I do quite a bit of traveling, or I used to until like the last 2 years. But I'm going to be in Florida in the early part of September. I will be in Florida once or twice in October. A couple of different events. I'm going to stop in October. I'm going to stop on my way on one of those trips. I'm going to stop in Cleveland along the way so I can say hi to some folks. I might make a stop in Cincinnati because there's a horror show that's going on, a convention there. So I'm gonna. I have. Those are the things I like to do, and when I'm there, I'm gonna get to meet Drew. Like, I'm gonna take my cameras. I'm gonna do what you say, Ian, and I'll make sure everybody gets to see it because, those are the things I like to watch. I mean, I enjoy the same thing. I like to watch when Jay is walking around the theme parks, or I like to watch.
I like that too.
And it's vicarious.
Yeah. Brightest Day. I haven't met you before. The only time I've actually seen you is when you were wearing your Battlestar Galactica thing in that video. What channel is your channel called? The Brightest Day, or
it's literally that.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll check you out and subscribe and stuff. So that's what I will do after this, of course. So.
Don't.
Yeah.
See, here. This is one of the pictures.
Oh, let me.
Oh,
Nick
right.
Weiser. Let me bring that up.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
That's right. I can see it. That's cool.
Right. Yeah, so you got comics, Nick Weiser, the good voice guy, and me.
And a TIE fighter behind you.
Yeah, in the background. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff. I mean, this is me.
Let me try to find the photographer link, and I'll drop it in the private chat.
Oh yeah, please do. I haven't seen that yet.
That's me and
That's
Wes
George.
Moody. No, that's Wes Moody.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. I've got. Well, I think I have one of me and George. I don't know. The boss took a lot of photos that I didn't know were being taken, but
I can't remember the name.
Oh,
but he'll be back.
That's me in quarter black.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So.
No, the guy that had the top hat on Thursday.
Oh yeah, no, he was there
with the
Saturday
mustache.
as well. Yeah.
What is it?
Well.
I can never remember his name or his screen name.
There is no way my brain's gonna do that right now. The boss will remember, right? And yeah,
because I was talking with his wife as I was waiting for the Uber, and it was just really good guys. I mean, I really enjoyed talking with them.
He was amazing, and he's been in the business forever.
Well, I told him I wouldn't say what he does.
Yeah. He's been. Yeah, I don't say anything what anybody does, but I mean, a lot of people have been in the business in some form or capacity, but there are so many people that I oh, here it goes. Brightest Day has it in the chat. Would you like me to share that, Father? Or
let me. Sorry, I didn't see it. Let me.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally opened that in the tab for StreamYard.
I do that all the time.
We're putting that in the chat.
I can see it anyway. I can see it now. Reminds. Yeah. Oh wow! Look at that.
Lord Thoth.
Let me see if I can bring that up in the.
God, there's some hot women there too. Bloody hell!
Whoa. Oh yeah. There was no shortage of attractive humans.
Wow! Loads of pictures.
Thomas, you're in the big picture. Thomas,
the guilt man. Oh, the guilt man's in the middle.
Look how many. Look, Thomas was everywhere. Look at that.
Oh, there's the Ryan Kennel.
Yeah, the glamour shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, gosh, I can't believe these pictures are incredible. You
know what? It was Christmas for Christmas for nerds, weren't it? Let's face it.
It was.
George was just the first one.
Yeah, I know.
George is in here. I know there's at least 3 pictures of George. You in comics.
Yeah.
Comics is exactly who you think he is too.
Yeah, I mean, I had a blast talking with him.
Oh man.
Again,
there should be more.
No, that's the first night, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't come back for the second night. It was
who didn't come back for the second?
The bar's photographer was going around.
Oh,
and then it was everybody else. Yeah, this guy didn't come back, I don't think.
Yeah, there's actually lots of great photos there. I mean, Master of the TDS. I've got photos. I've got video. I can't wait. I'm gonna parse it all and put it together. I think that's Wednesday's thing. I needed more sleep today and I didn't get it, so I need more battery.
I was going to mention to Jack. I knew that. So the Master of the TDS wife is writing Raven. That's her Twitter handle.
I'm Lovely so stupid. I didn't realize that Brightest Day was Green Lantern, the brightest day of the brightest night. That just suddenly clicked with me.
Okay. I'm not changing the branding, so the branding stays.
I subscribed just now, so I was like, it's Green Lantern. Yeah, because that thing he says before he puts his ring in the lantern, isn't it? It's that he says that thing, doesn't he? What is it?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
and brightest. I can't remember how it goes.
Day, in blackest night,
no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil might beware of my power. Green Lantern's light. That's the thing, didn't it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So dumb. I'm so dumb.
But yeah,
so I was going to show. I showed Ian this before we went live. I picked this up at an antique store. I mean, it's a modern thing, but that's going up in my comic cave.
That's beautiful.
It's a classic picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Superman. I think it was the second one, was it not?
Might be. Just to let you know, I think I got a little bit. I might have to charge the headset again soon. I forgot. I used it all last week, walking around Vegas and on the plane and everything. I forgot to charge it today.
Never mind.
Oh well.
These pictures are fantastic, though.
They were. I mean,
you were charging?
I got to meet so many people. I mean, Max was there. Not a Ginger was there.
Yeah.
Obviously Eric K. So many important people were there.
Just an army, or not another dime was there.
Yes.
Just an army, I think.
Very tall. Was Scott there?
Legalized Adulthood was there.
So Ryan's either really tall or X-Ray Girl's really small. In these last pictures, there. Oh, she's small.
Yeah, she was tall.
Ryan's about my height. So
yeah. Let's see. There were 4 people that were too tall to be believed. There. That's where I'm like, it's not fair. You're too tall. But Jay's giant and Krista's little. So literally, when I walked in on Thursday before the event started, Jay was giving Krista a piggyback ride. And she looked like a little kid. Like,
yeah, that was an interesting choice to make in a bar full of people like that, literally in the middle of the bar.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, just hop on your back in a mini skirt. Brilliant idea.
Oh, Kip Ellis, have a great one. Yeah, I look, and that's what I was going to say is I now have viewers in the UK, so I'm actually Tox Fox actually, and Kip Ellis.
Do I now?
Yeah,
there you go.
And so what I found is that I'm going to have to move the 6-minute daily about an hour earlier or an hour later in order to accommodate the UK schedule, because there's, so I think when the clocks change in the world, I'll move it one way or the other, and then that way I can have more time with my UK audience, who I value. So yeah,
I do like this. I do like that one. But today you had a little bit before it started the countdown, though.
Yeah, talked a bit.
Talked a bit. So you cheated a bit, didn't you? There.
I always I needed to. I had to figure out if this was working, right? I also play the music on the channel, right?
But don't get him started, because all of a sudden Mad Barber is going to show up out of somewhere, or Mad Bardigan is going to show up out of somewhere. We're going to go into this whole spiel about how it's not the daily.
Yeah, no, it is. It's every weekday. It's not every day.
Yeah,
It's
good though. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching them. Definitely enjoy watching them. I always get a thing on my phone saying that you're on, so I try not to.
I love hanging out with everybody. That is one of my favorite shows to do. It does, it only takes me an hour and a half to get ready for in the morning before it goes. That's the least amount of preparation that I have to do for a show.
I think for me, it's the afternoon. For you, it's the morning. I think so.
Yeah, it is. That's quite early.
Poor old father can't say anything now because his headphones are not working.
I feel so bad.
Okay. Does he hear what I'm saying?
If he's listening on the laptop,
are you listening on? You are listening on a laptop.
Yeah. But
if you muted his mic and turned the speakers on, he can still hear you.
Right. Who was the most interesting person that you met?
Oh God, it had to be Nick Weiser. It really did. He is every bit as larger than life as he seems on his channel. Every bit, and I couldn't believe it. But everything you see on Nick's channel, that's him, like toned down. And it was worse when he was drinking, because obviously that's just it unlocks the thing. But even when he's sober, he could pull that beast out of the closet real quick.
Yeah, well, the beast comes out of the closet, but you're right. His inhibition is completely removed after a couple of adult beverages. So yeah, I know Father can't answer that right now, but
I wonder if he's listening.
I think for me, Nick is hard to beat though. Was probably George Moyla. I mean, he is every bit. I think I said this at the beginning of the stream. He's every bit as brilliant, and larger than life than you ever could have imagined. He is, and he's funny, and he's generous and kind, and
I got the chance to introduce myself to him, but before I could get the chance to talk to him, much like it happened with a lot of other people, someone else interjected and it was diverted. But it was nice to at least shake his hand.
I hope
I geeked out for a second.
I hope Drinker turns up next year, because I'd like to meet him. The Drinker, so I'd like to meet him. He's a very fascinating chap.
Isn't he's a bit of ways from you, a different part.
Yeah,
of
he's in Scotland.
Is
it Scotland? No, Ireland. Yeah.
Oh, are you sure he's not?
The drinker's from Ireland?
No, he's from Scotland.
Scottish. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Scottish. Yeah, you got it wrong.
I did hear the question. Again, it was just really hard to nail down who I was most impressed with because, I mean, again, it was just Gary, Comics Division, Quarter Black was fun talking to. You guys were amazing. I mean, it was just, again, just to be able to be there and talk and nerd out.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, it wasn't you two, otherwise he would have said so.
No, guys.
No. It's fine. First of all, I will never take a personal affront from anything.
Well, I have the most expensive hamburger in my life with Brightest Day.
Right? Wow. Yeah, we went to Gordon Ramsay's Burger Shack.
Oh yeah,
which not
my
bad.
My dad will kill me if I told him what I paid for that thing.
I loved. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, the Burger Brasserie, they have very good burgers there. Cafe Americano, another restaurant in the Paris, also has excellent food.
French restaurant in the Paris is amazing too. I went there Friday night for dinner and loved it.
Yeah. There's a lot of great places to eat right in there. You don't have to go too far to find places to eat in Vegas.
So what was the hotels like then? I mean, were they really expensive or were you close to where you guys were supposed to meet, or was you further away? How did that work?
Oh wow, I would not stay in a hotel where the bar was, not because the bar isn't nice or the building that the bar is underneath. The bar is beautiful, but you get one block away from there, and it's probably not the best part of town.
So I stayed,
especially at night.
I stayed at a hotel. I stayed at the old Thunderbird Hotel, which is a quarter mile south of the meetup, but it's like 5 miles from the other end of the strip. So it was a long way to where everyone else was staying at, like the Rio and the Paris and all that. But I was a quarter mile from the meetup, and a little bit further was Fremont Street. So I was in a decent place. There's a bus that runs that takes you from one end of the strip to the other, so you have some transportation that way.
Yep. But, and there's a monorail too on the other side.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go all the way.
No,
I stayed at
quite a ways.
Yeah, I stayed at Bally's, and I would say the only downside was the resort fee.
Yeah, $50 a night probably.
It was about 40.
Yeah, that's like a Caesar's entertainment standard, because Bally's, Paris, obviously Harris, Caesars, all of that is all Caesar's.
Well, the only one that didn't have a resort fee when I was looking at hotels was like Four Queens in the Fremont area.
In the Fremont district, yeah, the old strip. I love that area. Oh, by the way, so if you liked the movie Diamonds Are Forever, James Bond.
Oh, I love that movie.
That was filmed back when you could still drive on Fremont Street in the old strip, and also it had an amazing view of the hotel that's gone now, the Desert Inn, and Country Club is now the Wynn and Country Club. Well, the golf course, right? And no. Is Vegas that dangerous?
Get off the strip. It is.
Yeah, I was warned about that.
Any part of any other city, there are areas of the city that you probably don't want to be in at night. So yeah,
I got to say, the one thing I don't miss right now is the smell of weed everywhere.
You know,
I wish that was the worst thing I smelled.
Yeah. But it was lovely. I mean, I don't mind that so much. I mean, I have friends that's their thing. So, but
you guys didn't stay in a hotel that Rain Man stayed in?
I don't even know which hotel that was.
Is it the Riviera?
I don't know, but it looks spectacular.
Well, so you have. The G&G team was down at the other end of the strip. They were at the Luxor and the Excalibur, right? And those two hotels are joined together. They're the same company. They're Circus Entertainment. And that that was nicer than I expected, and it was less than I expected. So if there were ways to get into a nice hotel for not a lot of money. So you can do the same thing in Florida too. I mean, I'm going to try to help people, and if that's going to be a thing, I'm going to try to help people plan for that, because it'll be an adventure for some people. So,
all I know is if I had spent more on a hotel room, I would not have been able to buy every single person I could afford a drink on Saturday night. And I got almost every member of the Geeks and Gamers crew. I got Jeremy a soda because he doesn't drink. I offered you one. I offered Krista one. I got Rough Girl. I got Quarter Black Garrett. I got everybody I could think. I was buying drinks for everybody.
Yeah.
I had to be generous.
If I were driving, Father Miller's mad at you. You didn't get a drink. Of course,
I owe you one.
Yeah, but he's writing it down.
Sure.
No, but no. I mean, I like adult beverages. I won't do it when I'm driving. So if I'm taxi, I'm taxi. But it was great, and like I said, I mean, you had Jack of all casuals. You had who's in the chat right now. Man of War 665 is in the chat right now, and his wife. I can't say, guys, you don't understand. It was so much fun, and you got a lot of stories that I can't repeat from people. About like their experiences and their moments and all of that, and I those things I value. I value it. You don't realize it's that type of opportunity to connect with people like that is I don't know, rejuvenating. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, I left that night not wanting to leave, feeling great and feeling very jealous Saturday as I was watching the live stream.
Yeah. Oh man. So the most the most fun moments I had that weren't involved with being at the get-togethers, the meetups, whatever you want to call them, was doing live streams with just whoever was around. Because I did 2 of them. I did one, I think Wednesday night when we were after dinner, right? That was amazing. And then I did one on before the meetup on Saturday, I think. No, before Friday Night Tights. Excuse me, it was right before Friday Night Tights, and everybody came and hunted us down. So like Brightest Day and Nick Weiser and everybody, it was me and Drunk and Ord's board, right? In our affiliated parties. And we were just live streaming, and all of a sudden, like, people start showing up. They just show up, and you end up, getting together and talking and planning and everything else. And these guys over here went to a escape room, right?
And we got out. We escaped.
Yeah.
I escaped from jail in Vegas.
Yeah, I had those moments, spending time doing that with them and just engaging with everybody in the chat. I mean, heck, Man of War was staying in the Venetian where we were streaming from and came down. I mean, it was so cool. I was like, this is awesome. I mean, in what other way, right? In what other ways can you get together with people that way? You just can't. It would.
Forgot to mention Truck Dog.
Apollo's
minion was really awesome to meet.
She is the coolest person in the world.
We got to hang out with her on Wednesday up at Fremont. The dog is. We were amazing. Kidding. Man of War was saying, and a lot of us were saying she should put a pan out because the way everybody was coming up to the dog, she could have probably paid for her trip with that.
Yeah. Oh man, it was. Yeah, here, pet the puppy, oh my gosh, it's an amazing dog. Love her, just an absolute lover.
Yeah.
And she is amazing. I talked to her for 10 minutes at a time, a couple times. And that's the other problem. You don't get to have a very long conversation with people because you're trying. There's
so many people,
I want to engage with as many people as possible, but you just don't have enough time,
But it's going to be worse next year, though.
I know. I might stay longer. That's the other thing. Or I'll schedule things. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be here. Let's all if you want to get here, come here.
Yeah, that's what, as I said, that's what happens in most film festivals that you go to. Before you go, you send emails out saying, well, I'm going to be here at this time. And then you're going to have to do that next year. There's no doubt in my mind, this is going to get bigger. Next year, they're going to need a bigger boat. They're going to need a bigger room. There's going to be twice.
They're probably going to have to rent a bigger bar.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole bar.
Yeah, so there's going to be twice the amount of people this time around.
I hope that there's a small get together there still. If it's in Vegas again, because I mean, I want to honor that effort that they put.
At least some members get together.
Some members or something. Maybe if I get bigger. I mean, right now it's like, First of all, I'm surprised anybody watches me. Second,
No, why are you surprised?
Me.
But second, I just first of all, I never imagined I'd have 1,000 subscribers, right? Then I couldn't imagine 2, and I actually want to get to 5 or 10,000. I think that'd be amazing, right? It's if I do, I mean, I'll have like the resources from YouTube because I don't spend this money on anything other than other YouTubers. That's the other thing. It's either spent here in the studio or it gets spent on you guys. That's what happened.
The thing is, though, you should look. I keep saying this to people, right? The only reason why I go on live streams is because I enjoy it. Okay, I have my own channel, but I don't do live streams because I enjoy it. The moment I stop enjoying it, that's when I'm gone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it should be the same thing for you, Culture. You should do it because you enjoy it. And don't worry about the subscribers or the likes. Yeah. It doesn't matter as long as you speak your truth.
That's brilliant, and it's well said, and you're exactly right, and that's how I feel about it, right? But I mean, it would be nice. I mean, because it would give me a bigger audience to hang out with, and that's just weird. Except that, guess what? I don't really need it because if I go hang out with Father Christopher Miller and Zach and hopefully you next year, I don't need it. I've got you guys. And it's weird. It's just, again, I mean, to hang out with everybody from yelling at parked cars, right? And there were people missing. Like we didn't get Tom there. We didn't get Az there.
No, Az wasn't there.
We didn't get Odin there. There were people that should have been there that weren't.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you should have been.
Yeah, I wanted to go.
Lethal Lightning, Lyndon Hall,
that Star Wars girl wasn't there.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I have a feeling that she will be at the next one.
Yeah, I think so. And what about Jedi Bunny?
Oh, she was there.
Well, was she there? Oh wow!
I don't think I know her.
How tall is she? Because I always imagine she's quite tall, small.
She's not terribly tall.
Oh, okay.
But she was there. She's lovely. She was there with her fiance. He's a nice man.
Yeah.
Yes. It's Soul Assassin says the Az signs were a great.
Oh yeah, they were.
Gag. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. I think whoever just came up with that probably Krista Nova, but that was incredible. Oh, by the way, I kept losing my voice because I was talking to people the whole time.
Well, that was the problem. Again, Brightest Day would know when we were at Fremont, you had to shout over the band and everything. That's why we eventually went to a brew pub. And that was kind of getting to be the problem at the bar. It was getting to be hard to talk.
It was a problem every night. And then Thursday, because they were doing karaoke, I went to do my one song and I had to lower my octave so I wasn't tearing my throat apart trying to sing the song I can actually do. And then nobody heard it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It's going to be worse next year, guys. So
we're coming up on an hour and a half. I figured I still haven't had dinner.
Oh, sorry.
And I need to go to sleep.
No, you're fine. And it's about 12:30 your time. No, 1 o'clock in the morning, is it?
1 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
So again, I really appreciate Ian your being
That's
here.
all right. No, I like talking to my friends. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So to everybody watching, again, to thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I didn't get it. My headphone died, so I can still talk. So I'm gonna just hit the end button, and we'll